everybody. My name is Carla Matusi, and I'm here with Rebecca Finkstel. We're from the Office of Career and Academic Advising at Youngstown State University. And we wanted to provide you a message to help those of you who have asked yourself, I have so many different interests, but I don't know which can be a hobby or if this is something that I should pursue as a career. In this video, we will go over some of the tools in ONET, which is through the Ohio Needs Jobs website, where you can use some of your self-assessment results to help answer this question.
So the first thing that I wanted to talk about this morning is your Pathway U assessment results. So you notice 6 different interest environments on those Pathway U results, and these interest environments are characterized by traits or common factors of different work types or hobbies. And just a few common traits that I'm going to share for each of those categories include, for the realistic area, some of those traits include activities that are very hands-on, practical, use mechanical work, being outdoors, being with animals or in nature. Investigative traits include using analysis, research skills, critical thinking, and logic. The artistic traits include creating through mediums such as art, music, dance, and just thinking outside the box in general. The social area traits include working with people and wanting to help others. The enterprising traits include leading, persuading, willing to take risks. Conventional traits include organization, data planning, and structure in general.
As career development coordinator, students often talk with me about careers that they are interested in, but they don't necessarily know much about. So maybe they saw something on TV or they have a family member who works in a particular role. One consideration to make when deciding, which is very important, is to ask yourself if you have a realistic understanding of the day-to-day responsibilities in a role. So in other words, the reality of what you will actually be doing. This is where ONET can come in, and later in this video, you will see how ONET breaks down identified skill sets, including things such as how much personal interaction you will have during the day with other people, or the level of required technology understanding you may need to perform a specific job.
So just a brief example to illustrate some of the examples that Carla just shared is one that I bring from my personal experience as a music major. It's one of the things I thought myself and heard a lot of was it must be nice to be a music major, you just get to sit around and play your instrument all day. So I mean, this is true, you do play your instrument a lot, but there's also a lot of other things that go into that particular degree and career field. So this is just one of those common misconceptions of like what they would do in a typical day, and it was something that I didn't even really understand myself, and I finished an entire music degree before I really realized what I would be spending an entire day doing in that career. So I didn't think about things that bothered me, like irregular hours, late nights. You know, a lot of concerts and performances are all evenings, weekends, things like that. Having to be your own business person and be able to really promote yourself and negotiate contracts. That wasn't really for me, but I knew a lot of people who really enjoyed that lifestyle and really thrived on it. Not saying, you know, if you don't want to be a performance major or have that lifestyle, you shouldn't do music, but just think about, you know, the dozens of other ways that you can use music in a career, like through music education, music therapy, coaching, arts administration, and management. So you might not be interested in that one specific area within music, but some of those other avenues may be a better fit.
So for example, many of you may be familiar with crime-related shows on TV. Maybe you've seen forensic scientists or detectives meticulously attending to crime scenes to solve the mystery. That is very entertaining. However, have you thought about the required work hours for this type of job? Do you realize that what you're seeing on TV is probably not an entry-level role, but something much further along in one's career? And do you realize the level of sciences that are actually required in a curriculum for a forensic science major, it's very close to a pre-med student. So we're just kind of asking you to keep in mind the work-life balance that is required for the jobs you're researching, and an understanding that the entry-level positions in each field can often lead to other roles, but usually not at the beginning.
So just like the examples that we shared, going back to that music example, I didn't really want that work-life balance like Carla mentioned, but I didn't want to give up on music, so I worked in academic advising for music students for a while. And having that music background and that music degree really helped me understand what classes I needed and really what they were going through at the time. So you can use your degrees in really non-traditional ways, and you have to get a little bit creative there sometimes. So that is kind of the point that I'd like to share, is that not every interest will exactly match a career. Might not match a career at all. Might match a hobby. Don't be afraid to get creative with that. So just like Carla's criminal justice example, an interest in those CSIS crime shows may not be what you want for a career, but you can find ways to incorporate, certain aspects of those roles in other jobs, other environments, or even as just a hobby. So think about the key skills and the environment that would be required for that potential job interest. Many times those skills or abilities are not just unique to that career. Identifying some of those components will help you determine what it is about that interest that really, really gets you excited. So maybe those crime shows, maybe you're really excited about the analysis and research part and just being able to figure out, what happened. So maybe that can help you in your searches as you're looking for other occupations to find other paths that really utilize those skills. Um, the other thing I want to mention is a lot of times we think about just like one broad category instead of the dozens and dozens of occupations that are the equivalent of specialties in a field. So like, for example, you think about a doctor. There's not just one type of doctor. There's, specialists in orthopedics, cardiologists, neurologists, pediatricians, specialists in sports medicine, specialists for musician injuries. You could be a doctor in philosophy, chemistry, art history. It doesn't have to be just one thing. So remember not to just focus on the title, but what they're actually doing in the role and the environment that they're in.
So now you have come to the point in this video where you are ready to take charge of your own future. We are going to give you specific directions to the ONET website. You will come up with a set of jobs that are related to your interests, and you can now begin the process of discovery, which would help you decide, should I keep these particular interests as hobbies, or decide which ones you want to research as careers.
So ONET has a ton of resources for career exploration. And the one that we just want to focus on today is the interest side of things. So you'll see the link to their website at the bottom of your screen. You'll want to enter 2 or 3 of your highest scoring interest areas from your Pathway U results. So this will be either those letters R, I, A, S, E, or C from your Pathway U results. And ONET will actually populate a list of job titles with similarly matching codes to the ones you enter. So each job title contains some really in-depth information about the key job duties for the role, typical personal interactions like Carla mentioned, the way you communicate with others, as well as job outlook, salary, and the educational requirements. So you can take a few minutes to review a job title and kind of think about what descriptors that you didn't expect to see. So what were some of those key abilities and traits that you really weren't expecting? How did it fit in with what those expectations were? Of course, if you have any questions about your results or your further career exploration process and would like to speak to a career development coordinator, feel free to give the Office of Career and Academic Advising a call at 330-941-3515 to request an appointment. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.